Hey, this is U.S. Olympic gold medalist Tara Davis Woodhull.
And I'm U.S. Paralympic gold medalist Hunter Woodhull.
As athletes, our lives are about having a clear path.
And a team that you can absolutely trust.
So when it came to getting the best mortgage,
we chose PennyMac.
PennyMac is proud to be the official mortgage provider of Team USA and you.
Learn more at pennymac.com. PennyMac Loan Services, LLC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 35953. Licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Conditions and restrictions may apply.
Magnesium supplements? You've mastered the basics. Now it's time to optimize. If you're serious about dialing in your health, upgrading your magnesium isn't optional. It's the key to leveling up your whole body. That's where Solaray Magnesium Glycinate comes in. MagGly from the #1 magnesium brand in health food stores. Solaray has a 50-year legacy of delivering quality and trust in every capsule. Each ingredient is triple tested for identity, purity, and potency in Solaray's GMP certified facility in Ogden, Utah. That means what's on the label is what's in your bottle. No guesswork, just premium MagGly. Plus, it's chelated in-house for powerful muscle, bone, and relaxation support that's designed for optimal absorption and gentle digestion. It's the upgrade your routine's been waiting for. Shop Solaray Magnesium Glycinate on Amazon or Solaray.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Owning a home is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. And when something breaks, it can feel like the whole day unravels. That's why HomeServe exists. For as little as $4.99 a month, you'll always have someone to call. A trusted professional ready to help, bringing peace of mind to 4.5 million homeowners nationwide. For plans starting at just $4.99 a month, go to homeserve.com. That's homeserve.com. Not available everywhere. Most plans range between $4.99 to $11.99 a month your first year. Terms apply on covered repairs.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC. SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Reminiscence a mission this day and age. Kelly and Thelma, and we're turning the page. We're talking family matters. It's about those times. Telling what happened. Read between the lines. Come on by with Kelly and me. Welcome to the family. Take us out, Kelly.
People, we promised you treats on this show, and we have a real big treat for you today.
Oh, my goodness.
We are so excited to welcome a Hollywood legend to the family. Oh, we love you. We love you.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Well, thank you. We had a great time. Yeah.
Well, let me just give you some accolades, young man. Now, this man put the F in family. He knows about family shows. He has developed, created, or produced shows like Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Bosom Buddies, Perfect Strangers, Mork and Mindy, Full House, Step by Step. Somebody bring me an inhaler. I'm running out of breath. He has also been a VP of programming at ABC. Oh, and let me mention, have over 1,600 episodes of TV to his credit.
Oh,
he is a multiple Tony Award winner, 12 at last count, I think. He has credits on over 100 Broadway plays, including Glengarry Glen Ross, Spamalot, Tammy Faye, Dear Evan Hansen, Hillary Clinton, and like 100 others. You know, I just can't do it. And of course, he was our executive producer.
That's right.
On Family Matters.
And proud to do it.
Please welcome to the show our family, our friend, our buddy, Mr. Bob Boyett. Bob. We love you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, what
Thank
a
you.
wonderful day this is. I
Oh, it
miss
is.
you.
Well, I miss you too. You
Mm.
both look wonderful, though. You look
Oh, thank
great.
you.
Oh,
And
you
it is
only
so
say it
good to
because it's
see
true, Bob.
She's
That's
just as smart
true. That's
and
true.
sassy as she was on the show.
Yeah.
So there's so much I want to talk to you about, and I'm sure Kelly as well, because I mean, you're Bob Boyett. This is just amazing. And the fact that we can pick up a phone and talk to you
Of course. Anytime.
with all the stuff that you have done is just amazing. Now, I met you, I think in 1979. You came to visit a little show called A New Kind of Family
That's
with Eileen
right.
Brennan, Rob Lowe, Lori
Yes.
Hendler, and Janet Jackson, myself. Janet played my
Right.
daughter.
Right.
And you came to see Jane Eisner and was it
Right.
Margie Gordon?
Yes, it was
believe.
Margie Gordon.
And
Yep.
that's the first time I met you.
I know.
And then I got an audition for Bosom Buddies.
Yeah,
And that began
nice.
our relationship.
Absolutely. It's been almost 50 years.
Say
Yeah.
that very quietly, Bob. Very quietly. Let's not tell too much. I forgot to give you notes about what we can say and not say on this show because, you know, I'm only 39 and holding.
That's right.
But that was just such a wonderful time. I want to talk about Bosom Buddies, but, you know, there's a little actor on there that you found. Tom Hanks, I believe his
Of
name
course.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a wonderful show.
Yeah.
How did I get on the show? I always wonder that. I thought I talked my way into it.
Oh, no. You were much sought after, and we were happy that you were willing to come on and be an important part of this family. That's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
such a great cast.
Yeah.
I mean, such a
it was.
place to start for so many of us. I mean, we were like a
Right.
bunch of bad kids with a great show.
Yeah.
I thought about when I was reading all the statistics, how many actors you have employed over the, I mean, it's got to be in the thousands
No.
just on TV alone. And then
Yeah.
all the plays and just all your productions. It's just amazing. I remember Bob Saget as one of our warm-up guys.
Oh, yes, right.
Yes,
right.
Mr. Potato Head.
That's
And
right.
if I'm not mistaken, that was his first television credit. He
Yes,
did
I
an
think so.
episode of Bosom Buddies. In fact, it was
Right.
the show that you featured me on,
Yeah.
where I was the singer that couldn't quite get it together and he had to keep coming back to the stage. But my son talks about that all the time, talks about the atmosphere of the show that you created because he was like 9 or 10. He was so welcome there.
Yes,
And he
I
always
remember
felt
him
that.
well. A little boy
Red.
sitting up there. Yeah, it's so great. So great to
Yeah.
have him
Bob,
there.
I just want to interject here because I love how excited Telma is to see you. And I was thinking about when we were talking about inviting you on to talk about this. Telma, so excited. When I talked to Jo Marie, you know, she wound up leaving the show and coming back, but she always talks about how kind you were. You know, I come from a very working class family, and my father, who's not a very emotional guy, when he talks about you and the way that you welcomed us to the show, he talks about how kind you were to us. Do you think that some of your success was partly because of your approach to leadership?
Absolutely. Have been very fortunate to work with wonderful people like the two of you. And I never took that for granted. And that I cared about the people that I worked with and I respected the
Absolutely.
people that I worked with. That's very, very, I think, important for us all as a family to produce well, to do whatever we do, whether we're acting or writing or producing or whatever. We need to be comfortable in the environment that we create to work together.
Well,
and
you
that's
certainly
always
did that.
been very important to me.
A lot of leadership is not taking that approach right now.
I also think that at a certain point, a lot of people that owned shows, managed shows, directed shows, were executives somewhere in the process, took shortcuts, and
Absolutely.
it was the bottom line for them. And that's
Yeah.
what mattered always. I always got in trouble for spending money on dressing rooms and for all the creature comforts, but the creature comforts were important. You
So
know?
important.
Yeah.
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 So,
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but I want to thank you for how you took care of Rosetta. When you talk about caring, when
I
you talk
loved
about
her.
family,
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
talk about that, you know Rosetta didn't want to do the show
yeah.
because
yeah.
she had had bad experiences
Right.
before that.
Yeah.
But she never stopped thanking me for talking her into it because
well, you were responsible for getting her to come with us.
I wanted her to have a Bob experience because she did have a tough time on the show we were on before.
Yeah.
But from getting her an assistant, you just took such good care of her and she's so appreciated. I just want to tell you, I loved you anyway. That made me love you even more.
Thank you. I loved her, and of course I love you, but I felt a connection with her right away, and I cared about her.
Yeah.
And she was a wonderful lady,
She
lady.
was.
Yeah.
And she so loved being on that show. She just had the time of her life, and we got the benefit of it because she was the perfect mother for Reggie. They were perfect together.
That's right. That's right.
Well, speaking of that, how did you come up with the concept for Family Matters? I know that Joe was on
Perfect Strangers.
before.
Yeah.
Spin-off.
But what made you spin her character off?
Well, actually, we developed the show because we felt there was a need for a more accessible Black family show. The Cosby Show was out and a great success, and they deserved it. It was a well-written show.
Yes, it was.
He was a great performer and entertainer. It was a wonderful cast, that whole cast.
Yeah.
So I had nothing but admiration for the show. But the show aimed at a certain level in society that was sort of high end. And we thought, wouldn't it be great to do a show that is sort of middle ground?
Yeah.
And that's why we came up with the idea. We thought, look, no one wants to do another copy or try to do a copy of The Cosby Show. But we could cast a whole different light on this by doing a show that's slightly different in terms of the approach to life together as a family. And that's where we came up with the idea. And actually, we came up with the idea for the show and started pitching it, Tom Miller and myself. And then we thought, well, we need some kind of launch. And we thought it would be great to do it with Jo Marie because she was a very popular character on Perfect Strangers. Didn't have much to do. She was playing an elevator operator. So, that's a very small set.
Right.
But it was great, and it was a great way for us to get it onto the network also. Because, the network would rather do a spinoff than to do a pilot.
Do you have a specific approach to deciding what kind of shows that you guys wanted to produce?
Well, I don't know that we have a form that we follow, but we obviously want to produce shows that appeal to us. And that was always a hallmark of our shows. I didn't want to do a show that I didn't want to watch. And so it was very important always to do shows that first and foremost appeal to me and appeal to Tom. And we also wanted to do a show with great, strong characters. And then hire great actors to enable those characters.
Kelly, do you remember your process becoming part of the cast? Was it tough? Was it fun?
I do. And that's what I totally remember. Like I was doing Joe Turner's Come Gone, August Wilson play in DC when I got the call. And I remember coming out there. It was a whole new world. It was so exciting. Yeah, I mean, I approached it the same way that I approached theater. So it was very similar because you guys have all been such seasoned actors. The process was very similar.
Well,
actually.
first and foremost, you two guys were actors. You were not television stars. You were real actors from the real world of acting.
Yeah.
And that's what we sought. In fact, Tom and I cast many shows in New York. We really didn't just sit in a room in Hollywood and cast shows because we found a lot of seasoned, stage-trained actors that way.
I love that you said that because I think that your approach to the writers also, because I was surprised that, did you guys intentionally find such huge characters like, the Fonz, Lenny and Squiggy, Jaleel's character? Did you guys intend to make these characters the huge TV success?
No, we really didn't. We never set out to create a breakout character. We let it happen. If it did happen, we let it happen. But that was not the goal. And in almost every show, there would be someone who would either be quirky enough or unique enough compared to the rest of the characters you see on television that they would break out somehow.
Yeah, I see the audience always chooses.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
they know who they're going to latch on to.
That's right.
And it's just amazing to me. Bob, I wanted to ask you something. This kind of goes back.
Right.
How did you start in this business? Did you start as a producer? I mean, I'd heard that you started in a mailroom. Was that true? Or was that just something somebody made up?
I didn't start in the mailroom, but way I started, when I got out of school, I had gone to college in New York at Columbia, and I got a job, my first job, working in an advertising agency because that was the closest I could get to writing things. And it was a good job because that was the era of doing comedy commercials for products. I was doing that job at an ad agency when someone came up to me and said, I've heard you talk about wanting to do theater, and there's somebody that is developing for theater. That was really my first love, honestly. But they also reminded me, you have to make a living. And
yes,
there's a job in television that's a good job because you would be developing programs in New York City where you would meet a lot of the writers and directors and whatever that work throughout the industry. And it happened to be true. And I did meet a lot of great people that way. And so I kind of fell into it. And then I began to love television. I was a snob at the beginning. I was a snob. I didn't watch television. I looked at my nose a little bit at it. But when I started doing it and started doing the kind of television that we did, I developed a great love for it. And I had a wonderful life doing it. And it enabled me to then transition into what I do now, which is Broadway, which I love.
And you are doing it. Wow.
I saw Steven Spielberg say that if the industry was similar to how it is now, basically run by attorneys, lawyers, that he doesn't know if his career would have been what it was. Do you think that you would have been as successful as you have become if the industry had been similar? I mean, because they're not making those kind of TV shows anymore.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I do know that it's much harder today. I mean, it always seemed hard to break into an industry like this aspect of entertainment. But I think it's much harder today. I often wonder now, like how, because I have young people that come to me and say, look, how do I get in? And I always say, take any job you can.
Get in the door.
In the door. Get your foot in the door and then make friends with everybody. There's nobody that you want to turn away.
Absolutely.
You want to be friendly with everyone because you'll meet them on the way up and you'll meet them on the way down.
They'll be pushing and kicking you down or trying to help you back up.
Yeah. That's right.
You put me on a show, Getting By, with someone that I loved and admired so much, Cindy Williams. I want to thank you because that job turned into a friendship to the end. And I mean, it's very emotional for me because I miss her so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
thank
I know.
Thank you
I know.
that.
She was gone way too soon. I love Cindy to death. Yeah.
What a great, I can still hear her calling me Thelma Luke.
And you were our great team, which is wonderful.
We were.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, Bob, you mentioned how you shifted back to your first love. What made you leave television to do theater basically full time?
Well, I didn't really leave television, frankly. A lot of shows that we had done, thankfully, ran for 9 years or 11 years, and it was a wonderful career. But at some point, there was a greater value put on reality-based shows.
Trust me, we know.
That were cheap. Cheaper to produce and all of that. And I just felt, well, this is not for me. I don't want to do that form of television. And I also had always wanted to settle back on the East Coast. All my family is on the East Coast. And I also always maintained an apartment in New York because I love New York. some of them were one room, but still, I had one room in New York. And I was grateful for that. So I decided when things started changing radically in the industry to come back where I wanted to live and where I wanted to work and where I could try to break into theater because I didn't have any experience in it. I was so fortunate that when I came back, the community sort of welcomed me into it. I thought I would be shut out because I know the Broadway community is very competitive because there's not much to go around, And so people fight like dogs to get their show on and they fight like dogs to keep your show off.
Right.
I found it to be just the opposite for me. It's like I met a few wonderful people and they helped me, showed me the ropes, welcomed me into the whole Broadway scene. So I was very lucky. It was luck too,
I think it had a lot to do with how you are with people, though. The things that we've been talking about, the way you welcome people and the way you are with people, how kind you are and how it doesn't matter whether it's the janitor or the executive producer, you treated everybody on the show with love and respect. And that you deserve everything, all your accolades and everything that you've gotten. It has so much to do with your personality.
I appreciate that, but I don't know any other way to act, really.
Oh, that's good. Don't go changing.
No, that's right. Yeah.
So, Bob, other than Family Matters, what was your favorite show to theater or television? What was your favorite thing to produce?
Well, it's the old classic answer.
You love all your children the same?
That's right.
My sister's my parents' favorite.
No, not the same. Everybody's not loved the same, but everybody's loved differently. And there's some shows that I attach myself to emotionally for one reason, and others maybe not, but there might be something else about the show that I love. It might be a fun show to do and to write and to develop. And that's justifiable enough for me to work on something that's a lot of fun to do. But I also like to work on things that I think have some meaning and some usefulness to
society,
humanity.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I don't do it to make a buck. I've been fortunate in that just doing it,
that's an understatement.
we made a buck.
Make a buck.
The industry is really run by lawyers. So what do you attribute that to? Like, again, you go back to you make things that you would want to watch, correct?
Right. Well,
they make things that they want to sell.
It's the old issue, follow the money. And the money comes from First of all, bankers hire the lawyers.
Okay.
And so you've got a bunch of people that are not in the business to entertain people, to provoke people, to provide people with some polemic or whatever. They're just in the business to make a buck. And that's the direction then that they impart to the people they hire and to the lawyers. The lawyers are really just following instructions. You have to remember that people that got into television initially were not supported or helped by the wider community because everybody in the motion picture industry and the theatrical, they were afraid of television. They thought, oh, that little box is going to put us all out of work. And so they did everything to try to not support it. I don't know why the transition took place, but it transitioned from people that honestly wanted to do good work, write good shows, entertain people, and have the audience really enjoy it. It transitioned somewhat into people looking only at the bottom line.
And I love that you bring that up because what do you think about how the industry has turned into streaming, the streaming industry to you? How has it changed even more?
Well, the truth is we all want exposure for our show, no matter what you are, whether you're an actor, a producer, writer, whatever. And streaming has provided wider and more exposure. There are still some problems to work out. I don't think that people are adequately compensated for streaming yet.
Yeah.
And that's changing, and that people are negotiating at a more fair level, I think. I think it will happen because it's a big business.
Yeah.
It's a huge
And
business now.
they want the product. I mean, the bottom line is what you do and what I do, we make the product.
Mhm.
I mean, all those other people might make money,
Mhm.
but they can't make the product. We do it.
Right. That's right.
And we, therefore, are in control. And the bottom line is,
That's so empowering to creatives because
yeah.
it does feel so difficult to realize that what you have is it's a valid product and that people still want to have good, solid storytelling in the way that
Yeah.
you obviously approach your productions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's what we believed in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ever know another way to do it.
What?
And fortunately, we worked at a time where we were not bossed around by a bank or a lawyer.
Yeah.
Really, you know.
I once saw
So-
Bob Iger give this speech where he says, "Hi, I'm Bob Iger, and I come from the time of the 40 share." So you don't have to
Nobody knows
compete
what
with a
that is
million
anymore.
different, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to
Million
compete with a
different
shows.
bazillion different TV shows at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't have to compete with crappy stuff on cable.
Yeah. On every
Right.
cable channel in the world. There's so many.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Magnesium supplements? You've mastered that. Now take it to the next level. Upgrade to Solar Ray Magnesium Glycinate from the #1 magnesium brand in health food stores. With a 50-year legacy of quality and trust, Solar Ray triple tests every raw ingredient for identity, purity, and potency. The result? Expertly chelated magnesium for powerful muscle, bone, and relaxation support that fits your daily stack. Shop Solar Ray Magnesium Glycinate on Amazon or solarray.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Ready to feel healthier this year? Find everything you need at loseweightnow.co. Orderly Meds gives you access to proven GLP-1 medications at a lower cost, backed by real medical professionals. And yes, they ship in discreet, private packaging, because it's nobody's business how you're improving yourself. And your journey deserves dignity, privacy, and confidence. Get started today at loseweightnow.co. Individual results may vary. Visit loseweightnow.co and get started today. That's loseweightnow.co.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, "Oh, wow, you look so good for your age." Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
I don't know if you remember, but initially you guys said we wanted to make a strong show about a working class family that just happened to be Black.
Right.
But when
Exactly.
you watch the show, there are a lot of things that are very specific to Black culture and Black people. Did you just trust us to do the blackening part?
For us to black it up.
Well, of course, we did trust you, but the truth is, look, I was raised for at least half of my upbringing by two Black women who
I
lived
remember
with
that.
us, and I grew up in the South, and they lived with us and who raised me. And I, to this day, will say the wisest people I know are black women.
Say that
Well,
again,
say it
Bob.
again. Say it again, Bob. You can't say that enough as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Because I was never told to do something because I told you to. I was given a reason. Don't do this because your mother's going to come home and she's going to get mad with you and mad with me. And you're going to clean all this up right now before she gets here.
Yeah.
And that made sense to me because I thought, yeah, she will. She'll be mad at all of us here. And I would clean it up. But that's the way they reasoned with me. I always had a reason for things that I had to do.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
How often did people from your actual life make it into the shows that you produced?
A lot. A
Really?
lot. In fact, your name in the show came from, well, she was called a nurse because back in the day, people that worked with young children were not called nannies. They were called nurses.
Nurses, yeah.
And my nurse was Laura Lee.
Really?
And so I took that name for you based on my nurse.
Wow.
Check me out now.
But my point is, I feel that I was very sophisticated about Black culture. I knew Black people, and I, as a child, of course, was nurtured by them. But even later on, I had lots of Black friends. I heard a really silly thing one time from a producer who was doing another Black show that had nothing to do with us whatsoever. And the producer said, last week we were doing a show, and a very strong member of the cast said to us, look, what's wrong with this episode is you have the cast finishing dinner and serving dessert. In a Black household, when they finish dinner, they go and wash all the dishes and then they come back to the table and eat dessert. And you've got to change the show to make it authentic. And I thought, well, that's kind of ridiculous. First of all, I'd eaten in a lot of Black homes, and we didn't have to go wash the dishes.
We did not go wash dishes between dinner and dessert.
No, I never heard
but
of that.
you did have to wash dishes.
We did.
After it was over.
That's true. But I just thought that was interesting that this cast member had imposed that on them, and that's, just seemed very unreal to me.
Yeah.
But I never felt I had to strive too hard to understand Black culture. I mean, I knew a lot about it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, because that, like I said, that episode was so well written and so paid tribute to the strength and just the superiority sometimes of Black women.
Remind me again, because I've forgotten who wrote that episode.
Ooh.
You remember?
I don't remember who wrote that episode.
I just wonder
who wrote the show, JD?
Anybody on the team remember?
Was it Bill and Michael, or maybe some of the...
They're going to look it up for us.
Okay, good.
Bill and Michael.
Yeah,
Bill and Michael.
So
Bill Bickley and Michael Warren wrote this episode.
What was your relationship with them? How did they wind up helping with the creation of the show? Did you know them from Laverne and Shirley in those days?
Yeah, we knew them from all the Paramount days. Bill Bickley came from Texas, and I think his first job was being an assistant to Tom Miller before he became a legitimate show writer.
Right.
And he then wanted to try to submit a script, and he wrote a really good one. So Tom said, look, next season we'll put you on a show as a apprentice writer. And that's how he got started. And then he hooked up with Michael Warren at some point, and they became a team.
A lot of the same names on a lot of your shows, the Don Donatas and Jack Seifert. Yeah. And I love that because I've done 4 shows with you, that you are a loyal
now,
employer too.
Look, we are, and people have been loyal to us. It's a two-way street.
There's a reason for it.
Well, I hope so.
Nobody can tell me anything about my Bob Boyett. I call you my Bob so much they thought your first name was my.
Well, we've had a wonderful long friendship. And
yes, we have.
I'm happy about that. And I'm happy about having worked with the two of you, because you were outstanding examples of talent and the ability to also maintain a great rapport with all of the people in this cast. And that has a lot to do with how you come off on screen.
I agree with that. I think that's one reason that we were so believable, because we really did love each other. It wasn't
you were a family,
manufactured,
That's right.
And the proof of it is, here it is, what, 40 years later, and we're still around and still in touch and still loving each other.
People will never understand how much that matters. When I'm saying as Laura to Thelma, Aunt Rachel, I love you, it's still Kelly saying to Thelma, I love you.
Yeah.
And it's a real something that happens when you can find that kind of connection as an actor.
Right.
Yeah. We have to give it all to you because I think the first time I met everyone was at the table read.
Yeah.
But it just felt right. It just read right. It just seemed right.
Well, Tom Miller and I did not know how each of us would perform the leadership role with a show, because when we first met, I was an executive at ABC, and Tom was a producer who was coming into New York to bring a show called Happy Days. And Michael Eisner was the president of Paramount, and he called me and said, there's a show coming in that I'm very high on. And Tom Miller is one of the producers. He's coming in with the show. I want you to meet him. I want you to get very familiar with the show, and I want you to be prepared in the meetings we have to really defend that show and sell the show. So when Tom came in, I, of course, introduced myself and we watched the show together. And I immediately loved the show. I loved all the characters.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, this is an easy job for me to sell the show. Interestingly enough, when we presented it to the ABC executives, there was someone who said, oh, well, why are you doing a period show? I mean, that doesn't work on television. It's set in the 50s. Well, we had gotten the idea. Gary Marshall actually got the idea because he was in Chicago and he saw an early development production of Grease. And he came back from that trip and he said, look, guys, let's do that. Let's set the family show. We already had the characters, but let's set our family show in the 50s. It'll give it a unique hook that's not on television right now.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea came from. But the men I was pitching to in New York, of course, they didn't know about Grease or they didn't know about 50s or anything like that, except some of them were probably graduated from school when they were in the 50s because they were mostly 70-year-old men. Anyway, we were able to sell it, and Tom and I became good friends, and then Eddie Milkus was the third partner.
Right.
And the three of us got along great. They said to me, why don't you just join us as a producer? Because you're more creative than an executive. So why don't you come over and make the shows with us? And I said, I would love to do that.
Wow. That is so interesting.
And I love that you defended the show. And I wanted to come back to our show because I remember initially the show didn't do as well before.
That's great. Yeah.
The big Urkel craze, the show wasn't doing as well. What made you stay with our show? Because we didn't have the numbers initially.
Well, we believed we had a great show. What happened is they threw a lot of hard competition against us initially because they knew the same thing at CBS and NBC. They knew this was a good show. So they put hard shows against us to try to kill our chances of becoming successful. And we had to move the show twice to get into a more favorable time period.
Okay.
But we had no question about the show. We thought, we have a great show. So that's a fact. That was our sensibility. What we have to do is fight to get out of the way of competition until we get the audience to see the show and appreciate it. And so that's why we kept fighting to move to another time period, which we did. And eventually the audience caught on.
Wow, really speaks to the time because now you get one episode, and if not, you're out of here. So the network must have really believed in you guys also.
Right. Oh, in some cases, Kelly, you don't get one episode. You get a test session with some audience that watches your pilot and says yes or no. You never get on the air to begin with.
So it's the luck of the draw in terms of like a test
It could
situation?
be, yes. Yes, it can be.
Wow.
Yeah. And, these test audiences are supposed to be a random selection of a cross-cut of the population. But the truth is, between you and me, people who sign up to drive to a bad neighborhood in New Jersey and sit in a room with 12 other people to watch mostly bad television shows are not the kind of people that should be judging whether something's good or not.
Bob, why are you making it sound like jury duty?
It is. I think it is.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, I have never been called to be on a jury. And
are you joking?
I would love that. Me? I would love that. And I always fancy myself, I would be a great juror, you know.
Says the person who's never been called.
I have never gotten a call. I don't know. Maybe they know something about me, you know.
Well, this has just been...
It's been great.
It's been wonderful, Bob.
I love seeing both of you. You both were wonderful people to work with and good friends, and I'll treasure that always.
Oh, we treasure you as well. I mean, you have been such a huge part of my career.
And
I brag about you all the time.
She does.
And vice versa.
And you do have to know that your influence on the life of performers, it's like life-changing. Like I came from Maryland.
Yeah.
I came from Detroit.
Right.
You're so awesome. Thank you so much, Bob.
Right. And by the way, you mentioned your father, who was such a sweet man. I enjoyed knowing him. He was a great guy. So.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Thelma had a great son sitting up there in the bleachers.
Yeah.
When he
loved that show.
What was he, 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah. Tom used to, on his days off, he would call him down to be in the set to fill up the room. He just had such a great time. The big joke Tom would always say on tape night, okay, everybody get food before Gerald, they called him Red, then he wasn't Gerald. Red and his little friend get here because you know they're going to chew everything down to the tablecloth. So he would always get your food, or son's coming today.
That's funny.
But I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm
thank you.
Grateful to you. So honored to know you, not just as the great man that you are in the business, but as a great friend. Just a great person. I just admire you. I love you. I could go on and on.
And me too.
Absolutely. And that's mutual for both of you. And I thank you for this invitation. And I look forward to your whole series.
Well, don't be surprised if you get another call, Bob. You know, you're kind of an interesting guy.
You see how he's laughing like...
Hey, don't call me.
No. You better hurry up because I'm getting older every day.
Honey, we all are.
I feel like I'm so old.
I got everything written down at this point, even though I'm only 39. Well, Bob, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, guys.
Just for being a part of what you created.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I love you both.
We love you.
We love you more.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're going to rewatch each episode of Family Matters week by week, so make sure to rewatch the show right along with us. You can catch it on Hulu and TBS and a bunch of other places.
Welcome to the Family with Thelma and Kelly is a production of iHeart Podcasts and Audiation. It's hosted by me, Thelma Hopkins.
And me, Kelly Williams.
Our executive producers are Sandy Smallins for Audiation, Adam Rip, J.D. Hopkins, who also happens to be my son and Kelly's faux bro, and Jonathan Strickland for iHeart Podcasts.
The show is produced by Thelma and I, but our series producer is Ireland Meacham, and our theme song's lyrics were written by J.D. Hopkins and Adam Rip. The theme song was scored and mixed by Matt Noble, who's also our series mixer.
And we'd like to thank Nikki Etour and the entire iHeart Podcast team. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Follow us on Instagram at Welcome to the Family Pod for behind-the-scenes photos and more bonus content.
And don't forget to leave us a voicemail at our website, thefamilymatterspod.com. We want to hear your thoughts and favorite memories of the show. And let us know if you need advice, because we're good for some bad advice. We might be able to help you with your own family matters.
And make sure to rate and review us wherever you're listening. We are so excited to have you guys along for the ride.
Yes, welcome to the family, y'all. And we'll see you next time.
Welcome to the family.
Audiation.
You know that feeling when a story just grabs you and won't let go? That's the kind of drama that's waiting for you on Disney Plus Hulu. Mysterious post-apocalyptic thrillers like the acclaimed Hulu original, Paradise. Action-adventure dramas like Daredevil Born Again. And iconic medical dramas like Grey's Anatomy. Or maybe you want your drama with a side of comic relief with shows like High Potential. Find the drama you want on Disney Plus and Hulu with a bundle subscription. Terms apply.
If you're struggling with weight loss, start your journey at loseweightnow.co because Orderly Meds helps people get real results with proven GLP-1 semaglutide starting for as little as $74 a month. No waiting rooms, no confusion, just real support and guidance you can count on all year long. Get started today at loseweightnow.co. Individual results may vary. Visit loseweightnow.co and get started today. That's loseweightnow.co.
Every year, people make the same fitness goal, train harder. But most fail because recovery gets ignored, especially connective tissue that muscles depend on to grow. Frog Fuel was developed by Navy SEALs and perfected by a Stanford-trained scientist, delivering 15 grams of nanohydrolyzed collagen protein that digests in just 15 minutes. It's science-backed and ready to drink. No mixing, no sugar, no junk. This year, don't just train harder, recover smarter. Go to frogfuel.com. That's frogfuel.com. Stay unbreakable.
Janice Torres here.
And I'm Austin Hankwitz. We host the podcast, Mind the Business, Small Business Success Stories, produced by Ruby Studio in partnership with Intuit QuickBooks.
We're back for season 4 to talk to some incredible small business owners.
The big thing about working in tech is that it's ever evolving, ever changing. Everyone's a rookie. That's how fast the industry is changing. So what I'm really excited about is to be part of that change.
So listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.